All right, back from the break. Let's go into point number one of what, which companies, which entities, which people possibly could promote you and put your message on their wagon for you not to pay or very little to pay compared to what you otherwise would have to pay. And by doing so, endorsing you because they are promoting it. It acts like a referral. Good. And those are people who never most likely have been or will be your clients for the simple reason they don't qualify as your clients as such. So let's look at that particular situation, who that could be. And please keep in mind, it's a relatively short list, while yet quite, it encompasses lots of stuff. But please, it is going to be your, and yes, I will help you once we are maybe, because we offer some services where we, take you through this whole journey for 5, 6, 7, 8 months and really work with you and help you brainstorming, imagining, right? And all those things, and we have lots of sources. So we'll work with you on that. But either way, whether you ever engage us or whether you don't engage us, it is of course up to your own individual imagination and coming up with, oh my God, there's this company, we could do this, and this company is contacting my client somehow, and then we could do something there and come up with something. So let's first start. Let's start with, companies / orgs / people, okay, who could promote you, me, whatever, okay, good. Number one, not necessarily number one, by the way, I just, I got to start somewhere, right? Number one, normal, local or not so local newspapers. That could be in the United States, the local little paper in the little town, or many little papers. That could be the big paper like the Los Angeles Times or the New York Times, and the same in any other country, a local paper or the Bombay Times or all such type of things. So basically the news, the paper. And by paper, by the way, really what I should be saying is here, the media. Okay, the media, that includes TV, radio, and a paper. Okay, now, please, if for some reason your product doesn't somehow qualify for it, fine. And on the other hand, it's almost impossible that it will not be qualified. It's the resourcefulness of how to make it happening, and I'll help you with that. But yes, with some products it's easier than with other products. Yes, I got that. But we all have, if we look at it, and if we know how public relation is created, we all have something to say about a newspaper or a TV or a radio, or all of them being able to talk about us. In fact, in India, for instance, I started going there as a tourist. I went there as a tourist with a good friend / client who is from India but lives and works in the United States. So it was a client in the United States and a doctor. He took me on a vacation trip for Diwali. He says, Helmut, you have lots of Indian clients in the United States, you love Indian food, why don't you come with me for Diwali and see what the country is all about? I said, why not? And he says, and by the way, maybe you can give a seminar or two to some organizations I know down there and some old friends in the medical field, dental field and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, that's right. I like that. And he knew that. So either way, as I arrived there and stood at his brother's home, I had a discussion with his brother, because his brother asked, so what are you doing? And one of the things I explained to him was that we get people into the newspaper, our clients, in order to make them known, famous, and authoritative, and basically get more business. Oh, he says, in India you need to know people to get in the paper, and next time when you come I'll introduce you to some reporters so that you maybe get an article in it. And I said, well, that's not how it really works. You can get an article in it almost all the time. I mean, nothing is completely, 100% sure proof all the time, but you will get an article in it, and you will be, there's a technique how to do it. Oh, no, he said. Well, this was the first night, literally. I went up to my room as I went to bed, and I typed away on my little laptop, and my God, I was definitely writing very slow. Back then, I still write slow and with 2 fingers, but I'm a lot faster. Otherwise, I would never have been able to write my book. And next morning, I went in town, not knowing where the hell I'm going. But I seeked out 3 larger newspapers, which somehow I found out with a casual discussion in that house. And I went to Bombay Times, to Midday, and I forgot the other one. Anyway. And lo and behold, Midday printed my article. Within 24 hours or 48 hours in Bombay, as a tourist, I got into the newspaper with an article. There's almost no business, whether it's a plastic or machinery manufacturer, whether you're an oil specialist, a power specialist, whether you're a doctor, you can get into the paper. Will you get in right away, and would I hold my breath and say you'll be in it in 3 weeks or in 3 months? No, but you will get in it, with topics not always 100% related to your field, or yes, maybe yes, but one way or the other way, there is a twist. You got to know again what to deliver to the newspaper that they want you write about you. That's a technique, and it's as simple as find out what they want. So what's in for me is the key. You find out what this reporter and this paper want to have in for them, and you put it in their light, and they will print you. And we're going to do, of course, one way or the other way teach you, but for right now, I'm just telling you. Then number 2. What about trade magazines? Trade magazines. What type of trade magazines? By the way, I get to the topic when we get to the message, okay? So don't get nervous about what, okay? Just those are companies and organizations which could be promoting for you. There is your trade magazine, from your trade. They might not be the most important one. They may be the least important one, but definitely we want them. There is the trade magazine of your clients. There's the trade magazine of your clients' clients, because again, I get to that in the message. Okay, so your clients. There may be the trade magazines of your clients' vendors. See, your client buys particular things from many different industries. If you're manufacturing plastic, and your clients, they do something with it, they have machines, they have certain things, so they have vendors. We don't need to figure out necessarily who is, the actual client, but like the industry kind of. Okay, so your clients' vendors. So we have your trade magazine, your clients' trade magazines, because he's in a different profession usually than you, in a different field. Your clients' trade magazines, your clients' vendors' trade magazines. All right? Chances are there is more to it, but let's stop at it here. Then the same with associations. Associations. Again, you want your association, you want your clients' associations, you want your clients' associations, and maybe your clients' vendors' associations. Okay? All that stuff is not all that difficult to find out, and with a little bit of legwork, they're very easy to find. Okay? Very easy, and there are lots of them. I mean, there are a fair amount of them. All right. What else should we have? Who else should we have here on it? We have the trade magazines, the associations. Then we have, basically many, just companies for, companies who have interest in your clients. That may be, by the way, the vendors to this particular client. Again, if your client buys particular machinery or goods, that would be his vendors. They want to promote to him already. Okay? So if you want to sell to a restaurant suppliers would be good. If you want to sell a machine to a plastic manufacturer, the guy who sells the plastic manufacturer, the compound and the color, and there are probably other people who sell machinery to him, but different machinery than you, all those people would be qualifying to help you promote your product. And then I'm going to put another one on here, which is part of the number 4, but it's extremely important, and that is Google and YouTube and about 50 other such companies. They're much less known. I don't even know their name, and we don't need to know their name. We just need to know that, you know, for instance, YouTube is extremely famous, but there are 50, 60 or more companies like YouTube. They're just so much less famous. None of us really knows them. It's not important. They still have huge amount of traffic, huge amount of power, and we'll get things done. Now,